Good afternoon. I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to all of you who engaged the board members last night during public participation. I know it was a frustrating and irritating process to endure for just 3 minutes of conversation, but it was more impactful than you will ever know. Sitting in the boardroom watching and listening to the conversation that occurred during the breaks proved to me that we are powerful and that we are having an impact. I also want to thank the more than 2,000 of you who tuned in to watch the board meeting. Checking in at 12:30 this morning to see that more than 1,000 people were still engaged confirms for me that we are tenacious, determined, focused, and most of all, we are view strong. So I want to provide a quick review of what occurred last night and then talk about next steps. First, in true Volusia County School style, the meeting started out with a switcheroo as they decided to invert the agenda while folks were still calling in to register to speak. Notice that as the district discussed wearing face coverings, there was no public participation allowed. I find this concerning because at each board meeting, public participation is afforded at the end. So why not last night? Another indicator of how the rules of the game are changed to suit the needs of some, but not provide equity for all. Next, the board discussed moving the student start date. While the bulk of the presentation was factually correct, there were a few questionable comments. First of all, the issue of pay. Changes to the student start date does not affect instructional and support start dates. Any changes to the full paycheck for August 31st would have been an automatic deal breaker. And while there has been conversation about employees in the AFSCME units, Schoolway Cafe, bus drivers, campus advisors, and other employees, um, what we know and have confirmed through payroll is if those folks work 1 day in the pay period, they too receive a full first check. I have personally reached out to the HR department and talked about exploring different avenues to get every employee fully paid. And I would just say this: the loss of pay being used is a heavy handed way to scare employees and frighten folks into submission, and we don't respect that. Let's talk about Election Day. There is a lot more that needs to be discussed around using our schools as polling places. We need to talk about the protections and the safeties that will be afforded to educational professionals. And just know that was not discussed with the calendar committee. And here's a fun fact for you: the number of sites needed by the supervisor of election has increased now from 11 to 24 because once the private partners heard that Volusia County Schools was filling the need, they decided to back out. Very interesting. So finally, let's talk about reopening. As you know, the board voted unanimously to approve option two, Volusia Live, as presented and submit it to DOE for approval. We definitely will bargain the impacts of this plan. I know that the district has presented this plan as three options, but it truly is a two-option plan for every parent and child in grades 3 through 12, and there are many, many concerns for teachers and support professionals. And we don't know why the district has refused to listen to us and the concerns of our educational professionals, but I want you to know that we have attempted to work with them and in the development of this plan since June 23rd, and they have neglected to allow for true collaboration, no matter what they say. As a matter of fact, the district has scheduled meetings for administrators and others to begin the process of developing procedures and protocols to implement the plan prior to the board meeting last night. Before our board members even had the opportunity to vote on it, the district had scheduled these meetings. So this can only mean a few things. A, the district is the one making the decisions, not the board members. B, the district doesn't care about the concerns of teachers, support professionals, students, and parents. C, the district has no interest in working as a team and collaborating with you. Or D, all of the above. You choose the one that you think is right. There are many impacts that must be negotiated, and VIEW desires to bargain in good faith, but we're not confident that the district intends to do the same. And we know this because after sending the third email to the HR director, Mr. West, to ask about setting up a date to discuss bargaining protocols and procedures, he responded with this, and I'll read it to you. Although you have identified potential preliminary impacts to the collective bargaining agreement, we have carefully reviewed each one of the articles you have specified. we find no potential impact on the collective bargaining agreement. We respectfully disagree. Also, I want to address the statements made early this morning about teachers and staff losing their job. This was a reckless and irresponsible statement made by our board member. It is very premature to make these statements, and we believe that they were done to scare and intimidate people into submission. View stands in opposition to such tactics, and we will aggressively fight to ensure that our members are protected from any potential layoff or furlough. And we will send out an informational update with the facts surrounding the financial position of the district and what we know based on the governor's emergency order. We know that this is a difficult time for all of you, and we don't know why the new leadership of Volusia County Schools has decided not to listen to our voice and the voice of you as the educational professionals. We believe that there are solutions to the problems that we are facing, and you can be confident that the members of your VIEW team are attempting to work in good faith with the district to solve these problems. You can also be confident that we will not relent until we are able to bargain the terms and conditions of work for all of our members. We are going to get through this together because together we are VIEW Strong. Thank you.